Good evening, everyone. We'll call the work session to order for the evening of August 2nd. The first item on our agenda is a continuation of our discussion on the job description for the park ranger. Need to come to some kind of resolution on this. Can't keep discussing it forever. Any thoughts? What our next step should be? I mean, I have one, but I'd like to hear from others first.
I think maybe we need to do something we haven't really done yet. And again, I know we're going to push it back yet another month or two, and then it will become football. We really, I think, as a council, need to sit down and say, this is what we think we should be doing. Because I've seen two or three things in here that just isn't what this type of job should do. One is enforce fishing regulations. You know, that means we have to deputize the guy. And I don't think we want that. I think part of it is the name ranger itself. It implies law enforcement. You see what I mean? The DNR guys are down. Richard, how often the DNR checks? If there's people out there, they check the fishing pier quite often.
Oh yeah, they're maybe 6, 7 times a week.
Yeah.
They don't have a specific time. They just show up and supply.
Because I know I've seen them sitting up at 3rd Street scoping it out with their 4,000 power binoculars when they come down.
No, I don't see fishing enforcement as. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Well, just to add on to that, I mean, I'm just curious what, they did a great job, I think, of putting this description forward, but I think, yeah, now the devil's in the details.
Yeah.
Are there other refinements, like, for example, I know we have the contract, there's already some things being done with the parks and the plans and looking at plans. I mean, maybe we need to kind of go through it. Should there be a subcommittee to kind of look at it with a little bit finer tooth comb, a meeting with Richard, Donnie, and Jane? I don't know what that looks like, but it seems like, I mean, I'm obviously supported the position, and I think there's some awesome things in here, things that they thought of in terms of the education, those things. There's a lot of things that we aren't doing right now. So maybe that's what we need to prioritize is what are the things we know out of this that we know that we definitely want and that are new. We can always sort of expand it,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I think looking at those things that, if you look at the Venn diagram, we're already doing some of these things over here and here. What are the things in the middle that,
And that was my sense when I first saw it. It just seemed like there was just this thrown in and that thrown in and this. And, whether it was intentional or not, it just seemed just kept piling things in to it.
I think we need to prioritize what's most important and what's not already.
I still think also that we should continue with our contract for at least another couple of years with environmental concerns for the wall and the shoreline. Because again, as I said, that's kind of, I mean, when you and I can walk down there and say, oh, this doesn't look right, but we from the other side one doesn't look right.
This person could be a liaison and schedule where they're coming and maybe go down there with them, at least for a period of time, maybe understand what they're looking at, and that could be stopped at some point, but maybe a little bit of overlap.
You know what I mean? Like I said, we can go there and say, okay, this doesn't look quite right, and then we can be able to explain what's not right.
Right. Jane, was there, I can't remember, was there a recommended timeline for when the position would start?
July 1st.
I can't remember, we were shooting for, I know at one point we were talking about it wouldn't necessarily be in the winter, but then in here it says 50 weeks, or I read something about.
Well, it just depends on when we get this all together, when we decide how it's going to be. I think the committee has put down their recommendations, and these are, of course, citizens of the town and what they see. But there's definite overlap here, and I think we could go through and scratch this or scratch that or add this or add that or whatever they sort of feel like they have given this to the council to work out. You know, they've made their recommendations. That's what they felt that.
Well, do we from this, well, I know that they have a position description. Mayor, I don't know if that would be you. I mean, it's just, who would be the one to kind of, if we were to post this, to hire, to distill this down into a description for posting and seeing what we get, you know, kind of just distill it down a little bit more.
Any other thoughts?
I do know that Karen said, when we were working on all of this, excuse me, that she felt that there were a lot of people that she knows who would jump into this.
Well, I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah.
I think we can kick it around forever.
Exactly.
Because we're plowing a new field here. And the fact that we don't have a definite job description that meets everyone's satisfaction, to me is not surprising. May not even be possible. And even if we did and advertised for it and didn't get the right people, I mean, what difference would it make? I think that we should advertise the position as we have it and see who responds. See if there are any qualified candidates for the position and get feedback from them. I think it may take a year to, actually come up with a job description that is valid and has input from that person, assuming that we do find such a person. And if we don't, then the whole exercise is kind of academic.
And even when you hire someone, like you said, we're plowing, sort of
Still,
new ground, once you hire them, I mean, there may be some tweaks. You might say, you know what, this didn't really work, you keep that. I mean, you can always make refinements. It's not set in stone.
for instance, one of the options was, well, maybe it's going to be a part-time position, but having worked 12 months a year, on a 2 or 3 day a week basis, or full-time during 5 or 6 months a year. And those are things that we need input from a candidate.
Right.
This doesn't work for me. And those are the kinds of answers that I think we'll get from someone that we would like to have.
And some of those duties are year-round duties.
I was gonna say, they may say it's better for the town
Yeah.
to do part-time and so.
I guess what I'm saying is I think we should advertise for the position and see if we get qualified people and sit down with them before taking further steps in refining the job descriptions. I mean, we approved it, it's in the budget, and that's my suggestion. Anything?
I agree. I agree. Because,
As a next, we're just talking about a next, look, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out,
right.
and the position goes away. But I think we've had an indication from our environmental committee, that they feel this is an important step as North Beach evolves. They become more culturally, educationally, park-oriented. That this position is one that kind of dovetails with that direction the town is taking. But you got to have the right person for it. So those would be my thoughts.
Yeah, the committee feels very strongly that way also. They put it out on what their recommendations are, and that's what we were tasked to do. But not, I don't think they want to completely define and refine it yet.
I want to commend your committee, Jane. I mean, this took a lot of time and effort and thought, and everybody's a volunteer. Yeah, and maybe it'll be tweaked, but it's sort of,
Right.
why not pilot the position and see how it works?
Yeah, and they've come to the point where they said, because I said to them, we can meet with this, and we could do that, and we could do this, and they said, we've gone through all of this. Now it's time for the council to step up and let us know how they want this to really work.
I would suggest that we advertise, and depending on who responds, that we have them screened by the environmental committee, maybe down to 2 or 3 candidates. They're more qualified to assess the qualifications of the candidate than we are. And then the ones that they recommend can appear before the council. We can interview them and make a decision then. Okay?
We have to move off square one at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
This is moving it forward.
Yes.
You know, again, we may get a candidate that says, why do you have me do this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Richard may say, we're already doing that, it's more efficient this way, but there's definitely some things on here that aren't being done by anybody else.
Well, yeah, and those are kind of what we need to distill and figure out what those are.
Right.
Okay, Stacy? Got it?
Got it.
And the environmental committee will do the initial assessments and come up with 3 candidates for the council to interview. You let them know, environmental committee know. Okay, item 2. Smoking on the North Beach, public beach policy. We get emails, all the time, but one particularly upset individual that took offense to the secondhand smoke on the beach. And, really berating us for this, that, and the other. So I asked Richard, we have a posted note, don't we? No smoking on the beach.
We pass out, to every guest that checks in the welcome center to go on the beach, we pass out a set of rules, and on the set of rules, we ask them to please refrain from smoking, and most of them do comply.
How many complaints do you actually get, Richard, from beachgoers about smoking on the beach?
Personally, I probably got a handful over the last couple of years I've been here. I have not received that many, but when we do get them, I do address them. I didn't hear from this particular person, maybe I wasn't there. And we have addressed them before. Most of the people on the beach that do smoke come off and use the ash cans, but it's a legitimate complaint, obviously.
And I'm sure most other beaches are moving in that direction.
Sure.
Smoking areas.
Yeah, I think this is fixable. I was talking to Stacy earlier this morning because of it's the beach area, to start with. I think a lot of people are very curious about it to begin with. And we do ask them to please refrain, but I think we post it and then make a decision, whatever you'd like to do. I think that's certainly doable.
I know we posted the movies, there's no smoking
Yeah.
for several years. We haven't this year because I lost the sign letters or something, I don't know. I couldn't find the letters for them.
Yeah, we have it available. I'll make sure that's back out there, Randy.
Do we include vaping in that?
We should, if we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna be out smoking. Yeah, I thought of that earlier this year, I just didn't bring it up because for whatever reason. I was down there, it was probably not bad smoking. I just been noticing that.
They ban
Yeah.
So the idea is that you go up on the boardwalk if you want to smoke.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't, yeah, I was.
The boardwalk, they have smoking areas on the beach, back by the boardwalk, in Ocean City, or on the beach.
You can't
But
smoke in
there's
the
no
pool, I
smoking
actually
in the
like that,
boardwalk.
people drop cigarettes all over.
Yeah, do we have a problem with cigarette butts on the boardwalk?
Yes.
Yes, there are. I mean, we have the ash cans at each trash can area. There are cigarette butts that we pick those up on the bike path, in the street, in the parking lot, they're everywhere.
Sure.
So we do pick those up.
I watched I had a conversation with your staff today as she was walking down, picking up cigarette butts.
On the boardwalk.
Well, everywhere. There's just everywhere. Don't want to take a tour. They're everywhere.
That's really bad.
Go by Mexico.
I brought that up a million times, that it's from a
It's
code
everywhere.
enforcement perspective. We actually added Joanna remembers, we added a trash can with the lid that, for the butts, and, I mean, they're supposed to sweep those up, but yeah, by Mexico, they're,
Well, they're all over town, if you want, I mean, look out here next to town hall, the church.
Yep.
We have, you know, there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
up at Neptune's on the corner. We get them in the Catholic church parking lot. They're everywhere, they're not just at the beach.
about that.
Well, we can only enforce public
Right.
property. We can't go to enforce on private property. So what's, as far as the beach is concerned and the boardwalk, what is the will of the council?
Ban on the beach, keep it open to the boardwalk.
Sorry,
I'd be okay with banning it on the boardwalk.
me too.
Who's going to enforce it?
As a cancer survivor, I'm very much in favor of banning it.
I think that's gonna be the issue.
Sure.
We have a lot of things that people.
You can ban it on the boardwalk, people are still going to smoke on the board.
Enforce it. I think so. Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, I think we need to start with the beach at least.
One step at a time.
Start with the beach.
Okay?
Parks, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Parks.
Well,
Well, I know.
now, let me ask you, in the parks, do you have trouble with butts in the park?
Not really. It's posted at Sunrise and at the Cowboys Park, not at Wetlands. It's posted. We really don't have any cleanup there. You know,
We don't have people going in there.
well, I mean, as far as, we do pick up in parks, the trash, and we go to do our trash runs and our checks, but that's not a big issue.
The beach, let's start with the beach, all right?
We're going to still keep it though in the two parks.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, we'll say, I don't think those are the issues as much as the.
Right, right. And they are posted, and we have reminded people when we've seen it, that it's posted, you know, no alcohol, no tobacco, or no
Now,
smoke.
how are we gonna do that? Because that's an ordinance.
Does it have to be an ordinance?
That it should be.
So if we do that, if we do it regular way, it'll go into effect September 1st.
Oh, next year.
Yeah.
For all practical purposes.
You can do an emergency ordinance next week.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I have emergency ordinances.
Have to. So if you're gonna ban it on the beach, you want us, if you're gonna do an ordinance, you should just go ahead and list the parks in that ordinance also.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are we thinking for the people on the beach then, are we saying, is there a designated area, or we're just saying you have to move to the, anywhere on the
Come
boardwalk?
off the beach.
Just come off the beach.
And trash cans have receptacles.
Yeah, almost all the trash cans have ashtrays.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll introduce an ordinance next week
For no smoking or vaping,
on the beach or in the beaches.
Somebody else.
yeah, or
added-
tobacco.
Somebody else added medical marijuana to that too. Somewhere. That was one of the-
What if they're not, what if they're just eating it?
Yeah, there's no secondhand.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Well, the second hand maybe people might like.
Okay, we have a decision then.
My light came on.
Beach is not the boardwalk and the parks.
Yes. Okay, North Beach, moving on to item 3, and that's why we have our deputies here to advise us on what exists, if a problem does exist, and what their thoughts might be on what a policy with respect to alcohol at the farmer's market might be. Want to tell us, Ronnie, and tell us what the problem is, first of all, okay?
I think speaking to our alcohol enforcement personnel at the sheriff's office, the problem seems to be your businesses that have year-round liquor licenses are complaining that people are leaving the confines of the farmer's market with alcohol. Problem number one, they're upset that you know, they have to enforce people leaving their business establishment with alcohol. And of course, it's a different venue here. These are vendors set up on Friday night for a temporary thing. And, they don't, people wander all around. So Tom and I come up with some things that might help with that. I think, Tom, you got some ideas about banning some people or something like that.
I think the original, one of the other complaints was people bringing in outside alcohol into the farmer's market itself too. I've worked the past, since that complaint was voiced at that town council meeting, I've actually worked at the farmer's market. Where I saw the outside alcohol was actually part of the car show, more than the other people attending the farmer's market. It was the car show people, they bring their cars down there, park them in their trunk, they have their cooler of beer, and they stand there with their cans, usually in a koozie. It's not just a can, but that's where, the 2 nights I did walk down through there, that's where it was mostly coming from. Most people attending the farmer's market or the farmer's market aren't bringing beer with them. They're actually purchasing it there, so. And the vendors, I know one of them has a personalized cup, I think, what I saw, and one was just using red Solo cups. So the enforcement of, if the car show people decide to bring their own alcohol and pour into a red Solo cup, I mean, there's not much we can do, really, but to make sure that they are purchasing at least one drink there, I guess, if they wanted to go, if we mentioned maybe wristbands, the vendor who sells the beer would have to provide a wristband to the person to show they purchased the beer at the farmer's market. That's what they want. That's what y'all typically did. Now, if the car show people would have to go, I guess, on them, but they would have to purchase the beer to get a wristband. Or maybe just put out the car show, the more, you'll email that group also to say, hey, we're going to start enforcing outside alcohol. So maybe they'll cut that out. And then I guess people leaving
Yeah,
the confines.
I was talking to Mike Stevens, our state police, and he's now our alcohol enforcement officer. And the town should have conspicuously posted at each exit point, which I suggest to be 7th Street, 5th Street, 3rd Street, no alcohol beyond this point. I've talked to Randy about that. I don't know, I've never seen it. Tom's worked down there.
It might be there, but I don't know if
We have 2 signs at each area.
Okay.
I mean, and as if somebody's walking out of the market, not coming into, but walking out, there's signs on, but
Right.
there again, there's signs in.
So, we thought maybe that would help. What I did, or what I did do for this week, just to start bringing awareness, I think it's probably a problem created because we haven't enforced it all along, is maybe come down and just start talking to people this week and, let them know that, hey, you're subject to a civil citation if you bring in your own alcohol or you're walking down the street with it. It's not an open venue. Friday night's not going to be an open venue for people to walk around. It's there for the confines of the farmer's market to enjoy it. We're open for any suggestions that you guys have.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate. As an old guy who might have a 1955 car, I come in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which some of them do now. And I'm going to stay till 8 or 9. I'm going to sit by my car the whole time. What's wrong with me bringing in a 6-pack of beer and just sitting there and, and refreshing myself over those 4 or 5 hours?
Well, I think,
Is a guy like that breaking the law?
It is consuming alcohol on a public space. It's against the law to walk in the street and consume alcohol in public.
Suppose he's just sitting there by his car.
Same thing. I mean, you're on a public street.
Yeah.
The same thing. Like Tom was saying, if it's in a red Solo cup, are they going to put it in a cup? We're not going to go around sniffing cups or executing searches on people's cups to see what the confines are. But I think you have a crew of deputies that are acting reasonable and always will. And we want to work in conjunction with the town, make sure that it's an event that everybody can enjoy. We're not seeing a lot of alcohol-related problems other than people going outside, and that seems to be the thing. Your businesses are complaining, hey.
And I don't think that's the car buffs. These are old guys. It's hard to walk around.
Yeah, I think the car guys are staying, and I think a lot of the complaint from businesses, at least the one that I talked to, is people leaving, with leaving the farmer's market with the cups.
That's what
That's
what my alcohol
80%.
guy said. But Tom was, he was pointing out.
there was a complaint about outside alcohol, and that's what I was referencing. I mean, to tell you the truth, if they want to bring, that's up to you all in a way, but I don't know who issues the permit, and does it affect the liquor laws as far as the permit is for the
Each
farmer's
vendor
market
pulls
to be
their own
sold
permit.
there. Is the outside alcohol allowed by either town or whatever? That's something you all need to,
Yeah, we just really haven't spoken to it, Tom. you know,
Exactly.
Because it hasn't become a problem.
Yeah.
These are not rowdy guys.
And like I said, they,
How does,
correct.
yeah, what is, how does get on the agenda, like, who
There's,
initiated?
I have had several complaints the last couple of years about too much alcohol at the farmer's market.
Why?
I've had a couple of complaints also, people carrying it out.
Well, look, I had complaints about dogs.
Yep.
Well,
I get more complaints about dogs than I get about alcohol and smoking.
Well, can I
Tell
just
me.
add one second? And I just, in general, I'm hearing a lot of feedback that, that we've become so successful that it's just becoming less of the family-friendly, fun farmer's market. It's becoming more of a carnival atmosphere in general.
Yeah, it's not the
That
farm.
maybe we have, one of the, suggestions I heard last night was, well, how many alcohol vendors do we have? Should we, they were kind of making a comparison to Green Street, I guess has a farmer's market, and they rotate the alcohol people. They
I
have to-
rotate and I cut back this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, we
Did you
Yeah,
cut-
yeah,
we cut back one vendor this year.
We cut back, I mean, the wine vendors have to rotate now, which is new. Because last year I had 4 permanent wine vendors every week. This year there's 2 spots for wine vendors, they rotate, and there's 2 spots for beer, and they rotate.
That seems reasonable.
And then
That sounds reasonable.
The only other above that is the distillery.
Distillery.
Yeah.
What's contributing mostly, like,
Is
do
it
we
is
get to
it
the
people
carnival
leaving with the
atmosphere?
food?
I think that should be a problem right there.
we have not had any drunken disorderlies on a farmer's market night.
Okay.
We've had
That
no
I
problem
can
with juveniles.
attest to. Other than juvenile problems, that's not drunk. We have not had, like I said, it's what, $5, $6 for a couple beers?
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't going there, it's a lot of money, you're not, chugging big cubes of small 12-ounce cups, and they have to spend a fortune doing it.
I certainly think we should enforce the leaving,
Yes.
third, fifth, and seventh. Do whatever's necessary to enforce that. I see that as a problem that we can work on.
Perimeter.
Yeah.
So that's illegal. So the car people, though, they're within third, so if they're sitting there.
But they're not leaving with it, they're not.
But, I mean, but no, it sounded like you were saying
was
you're
a complaint.
sitting there.
There was a complaint of outside alcohol.
Okay, so there's 2 issues,
So,
leaving and
yeah, leaving
outside
and
alcohol.
outside, and that, the outside was the complaint, wasn't it? It was given, and I went around to one farmer's market, like I said, the only outside alcohol that I could narrow it down was to the coffee, that's up
If you don't
to,
do that, they're going to stop coming.
and that's, like I said, I don't know how it affects the liquor laws or what that falls under as far as the thing, whether it's allowed or not, that's up to.
It falls under the blind eye policy.
Yes.
I think also some of it this year is because there have been fewer farmers because of the way the year has been, with the cold wet spring and not as many farmers having stuff to bring, that the alcohol vendors are really the center of attention this year because they're there and everybody can see them. Swans didn't come for a long time. Just Swans just started coming a couple weeks ago. Some of our regulars have been in and out. The bread lady's not coming anymore, and I understand that's a different thing, but I mean, that was all camouflage for the alcohol vendors. And, it's just like I was telling Ronnie, when we were talking about the team problem, I didn't really notice how many tweeners were down there until the week, I think the weather was bad. And there weren't as many adults there, but the parents of Dunkirk still kept dropping their kids off.
So you're saying to go, it's become like a social
Yeah.
hangout.
So, when there's a couple thousand adults, you don't notice the 400 kids. When there's only 800 adults, you notice the 400 kids. And I think that's the same way with the alcohol, now that we don't have the streets so filled with farmers, farm stalls, you see the alcohol vendors.
So Mayor, what I might suggest is, at those 3 entrances and exits that we talked about, they put a couple good sized 55-gallon trash cans there, and said, when we see people leaving, say, hey, you gotta drop your beer here.
I think that's an excellent idea.
And as they're coming in, if they're bringing in beer, hey, you can't bring in any outside alcohol, you gotta drop it in the trash can.
Can I make another suggestion? I can also have each of my alcohol vendors post a sign at their stand that
yes.
says, anything purchased
Anything
here
purchased here needs to be
must
consumed in the farmer's market.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe signs won't fit with the parking lot, but like a few every
How big of a problem, like how many people are leaving the perimeter?
I'll be honest with you, I've never taken there.
It's not anything we've really paid attention to until, like you said, it's a Friday night, you kind of turn a blind eye to it. I mean, we're not getting fights and drunks and disorderlies and things like that. People coming down there enjoying the farmer's market, they're going home.
Like the business, you're.
But I did hear through my alcohol.
So the problems are coming from the business people.
That's what it sounds like from my
Who
alcohol.
feel that their sales are being affected.
There you go.
Because if they can walk wherever they want, if they buy it out there.
Right,
they can't
in other
do
words,
that
if
if
you go
they
to
buy it.
Mexico and you buy, or Oak and Vine, you go over there and you buy a beer, you're
Yes.
not allowed to leave the establishment. And what, it is what it is, but we're here to help, not make people's lives better.
Understand.
So,
Let's don't do anything that's going to cause unintended consequences.
no. I think the trash cans there, and there's somebody there, my officer, we have an officer there at this street now, to protect people from driving in, driving incident or somebody.
Sure, that's street intersections.
And just say, hey, listen, you drop your beer, you drop your
Very,
beer.
very active intersection at 9 o'clock.
That's our suggestions, I mean, what do you,
Okay,
have anything to add to
let's
it?
just take it one step at a
And
time.
we'll have some people out there just pushing, hey, look, you gotta keep the beer.
I also think that we should have the vendors have a sign.
That's very good.
Yeah, I think it's easy to do.
Thank you.
I will tell you all that I've gotten a few emails from my vendors thanking the town for the extra security and the presence of the police officers.
Especially
Their sales have gone up and they feel a little more secure now.
Good, thank you, guys.
we've, past this month, we've had at least 2 to 3 bike patrol units and about 6 to 8, depending on the night, extra officers, including between part-time and overtime and everything else.
And keeping Callis Park on the radar too.
That's
That's where the young children are.
We have a bike patrol going back and forth there, so, they come down, so, and we're watching it tonight. So.
Stacy, can you just elaborate a little bit? Were people feeling like they needed extra security, or what was
Their sales were down because they thought the market was just becoming like a drop-off point for kids, and more kids running around versus actual families coming to make purchases and things like that.
These farmers are vendors.
I mean, they're not spending any
They're all my
money.
vendors, but they're on the farm side of it.
Oh.
They're still all my vendors.
Was it getting kind of rowdy? I mean, obviously, it must have been a little
Not
rowdy.
rowdy.
I don't know if you're familiar, but there was an incident on the 4th of July, and there were several incidents prior to that, so like juveniles and button heads coming down, and they would put out that they're going to fight down here at Callis Park, or fight at the beach, and it would go viral on social media amongst the kids. And you get 5 or 6 that are going to fight, and 40 or 50 or 60 to come down and watch it, so we just wanted to curb that.
All of yourself, not very important.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I asked a couple of our teenage beach attendants what would attract kids their age in the farmer's market, and they just went,
It's Calvert County.
yeah.
It's like going to the mall.
Yeah.
The kids love it.
CNBC.
They love the
Bring
concert.
here at the car show.
For years, they've been hanging out in the parking lot of Kmart, explaining, I mean.
Well, the roller skating rink's closed. What else can we got?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, people also gotta find things for our kids to do.
Nikki misses that roller skating rink.
I do too.
He broke 2 of his best arms there.
Can we agree that that's a good start to things, that it would be, okay. Anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is on the agenda because I received in the mail solicitation from this Elon City.
Did we want to talk about dogs first? Before that?
I took it off the agenda. It was on, and I took it off because of all the research that we did, and, I mean, basically everybody allows dogs.
Everyone allows dogs except for Baltimore, that's in their health department regulations. I called a couple different other towns and the farmers markets, and they told me they do allow dogs, and they felt that if they did not allow dogs, their sales and attendance would go down dramatically, because their farmers market also.
Yeah.
And Baltimore City gets a lot of negative comments.
Baltimore City gets a lot of
Because of
negative
that
comments
policy.
because of their dog
Keep
policy.
the dogs.
Well-
Just get rid of some of the rowdy.
Well, I do know when we first started it, however.
Some of the dogs are as big as horses.
Well,
Yes.
that's a problem that's a problem in the food area. And the last night the Red Lady was here, this may be related, there was some, I don't know, some horse was arguing. And an 8-year-old kid had it, the dog got loose. I think, you were there, I think, standing right there maybe.
No, I wasn't, but I know who you're talking about.
And it was this huge dog, and it went right into the bread table, bread on everywhere. The health department inspector was standing right there, and out came the citation. That was her last,
Well, at least it
last
was
year.
a citation, that's, yeah.
But it shouldn't be the
But
citation.
now
it should
she's
be
not
the
there.
vendor.
Right.
And
Oh,
that's-
the vendor.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the vendor, and that was her last night.
She tried many times, they
Makes
kept
sense.
covering stuff over, and people would let their dogs come and lift up.
Yeah.
Bread.
And, you know, when we first started the health department, I remember cautioning us about the dogs.
Yeah.
That 10 years ago, so, and I know we had a problem the other night with the movie, with people bringing dogs to the beach for the movie.
Well, that's, we don't have
Well, you're right, but there was,
We'll let the next administration deal with that.
no,
I'm telling you, take on the dog community, you're in a losing battle.
Exactly.
All right, discussion of proposed radar speed signs. And what came to mind immediately was the intersection of Ninth and Bay, where we consistently, get complaints about people speeding on their way out of town or into town. And we've talked about more enforcement, we've talked about bumps, any number of things, but nothing is there right now, and I guess they're continuing to speed.
It's an issue. Yes.
And I don't know that this is a solution, but it may be helpful. Did you all get a copy of this?
Yeah.
I think, and also Chesapeake Avenue
Yes.
up here, even with what we put in, thinking we'd cut the speed down, it's creeped back up.
Would you be interested in purchasing 2 of these? And we have to put up the pole, but everything else I think comes with the price.
Oh, they're not portable, could we get portable
I was
ones?
gonna say, can you move them around or not?
It says portable.
Well, you can put a pole anywhere you put a pole. I mean, a pole mounted. But I
So these are the ones that like tell you how fast you're going?
Yes.
Or the ones that like,
says, we can put their messages on.
yeah.
And they collect traffic data.
Which we need.
Would we, I feel like we almost need them both ways. I mean, leaving town, I don't know which is worse. It's like the racetrack, I think leaving town is probably worse. It's like they speed to the end on a line, like it's a finish line,
What are your thoughts on this?
What worries me is, man, it's just more signs, more signs, more signs. I know I might be the minority here, but I know those speed bumps along Bay work. I know nobody flies over the speed bump. I know that's a guaranteed slow down.
I've been asking this for those
And
for years.
I'm just saying 2 more would do it for us, to me, and I just think that's a guarantee. I mean, you'll see that you're speeding, but do you think they really care if they're speeding? I mean, if they know they're speeding, they don't need to be reminded that they're speeding.
Do we still have any of those temporary ones? Could we,
If we get
That's what we
data,
put down in the back.
since it collects data, it would at least give us something to give to the deputies and say, hey, every day this week between 8 and 9 a.m., we have this. So then they can go and enforce.
I just know my
And
idea
that
works
works better than
guaranteed.
Netflix. Well, it does work for cars, but on the main drag, like Chesapeake Avenue, you have all the tractor trailers, you have all the delivery trucks, you have all of those that if they slow down and stop, because those bumps are not 25-mile bumps.
My
those
2
are
cents
like
is the boss.
10-mile.
That's fine.
They're not even 10-mile bumps. They're just-
Cool, it worked.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Bay Avenue is a little bit different than Chesapeake as far as what's going on at it.
how much were those bumps And so can we-
Around $260 a piece.
That's it?
And for the one on Bay Avenue we purchased.
And-
Any problem you have with them?
And can we put some of those down?
Any problem with them would be snow plow.
No, but I mean, the summer is the worst time.
Yeah.
Could we put some of those, are we allowed to put those down?
I don't know, that's what I was just thinking about, it. It's kind of state maintains that for.
Yeah, can we at least try it? I mean, I would say maybe if they're only a couple $100, can we try putting a couple of those down? The summertime is the worst and see how it works.
Oh, that's gonna
Well,
work.
we just installed one.
It's going to work, you can't go around them.
But if you go fast enough, you can slam on your brakes right on it and rip it.
You could.
And I'm telling you, I know people who will do that.
I'm sure
We've
they're
had this
very
discussion
impressive people.
so many times, like, are we allowed, are we not allowed? We never, we never get an answer.
Well, then
We have to,
We
I
just-
think we have to get permission from the state highway. It's a state road at that point. Unlike Bay Avenue, that's our road.
That's the problem there. There are all different roads, I mean, it works on Bay Avenue, because you have cars parked there, boardwalk there. People are slowing out a little bit anyway. I mean, you see, they definitely work there, but Bay Avenue is kind of more like, they say you have to have every 200 feet to make them work, so you have to have, I think, several, because they're just gonna go over the speed limit and then go even faster on Bay Avenue.
Yeah, we just-
They'll use that as a starting point.
Yeah, they'll go to speed bump and then
And then
they'll
they'll
really
really
mash
for
it.
it. Yeah, that's what I mean, unless you had, cell phone
Yeah,
problems.
but we have a stop sign on 7th Street.
Go ahead.
I apologize, Randy, I can see. But we have a stop sign at 7th Street,
All right.
the one at 9th and one right past the doctor's.
At 9.
No, I'm saying, we could put one bump at 9th and one at, right, so two more,
Where at?
right past the doctor's house, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm never just kind of wild.
They'll put a stop sign at Ninth Street.
No stop sign, I'm saying we have one at 7th, so they're already stopped.
But why not a stop sign?
Why? I'm not saying no to that.
That would be more effective than the speed bump, probably.
Yeah, but once you get past night, you're still gonna mash it, you get past Lions house.
One thing is, that and what construction people start.
It's how fast you
Yeah.
can speed, I guess. I mean, I think it would help, but I'm trying to think, 'cause it's like, that's where they start.
Ninth to your house, I get up to 55 or 60 with a truck.
And what's worrisome is like people, that's where people walk. People walk and there's no shoulder because the water literally comes up to the road. And there's families, people walking, biking, jogging. I mean, it's really dangerous. There's literally the water on both sides and people just flying out of there.
Keep in mind, with State Highway, Chris went to a meeting the other day, and they're right in their design phase right now, so that might even be like a traffic calming device. Maybe,
It can get built in.
maybe it can get built into that.
We should make sure to give them that feedback.
Yeah, we can give them that feedback at the meeting, and we went to the meeting, that's, November 2019 is coming out the bid, so it's not that far away, probably. So,
Right, I mean, several years.
I mean, include some comments, because they're changing everything there, changing the sidewalk, and then, whatever we do for the summer, then we can next summer, but, we might put something permanent in.
It's still gonna be
Makes sense to
4
them.
years before we're,
Um,
4 years before it's done.
No, I know, but they're pretty aggressive on it, I think it's gonna be done quicker.
2 to 3, I think.
Yeah, 2 at the
I mean,
most.
construction starts in 2020, so it'll be 2022, that's 4 years from now.
We just installed a speed bump at going to the ends of San Francisco. Not a bump, a hump. That, and you can, and the speed limit through there is 25, and it drops out to 15. And if you go over to 25, you notice, and that's what you want more down there than one of the speed bumps where you have to stop before you go over.
Well, we can't even do that, it sounds like.
Well, maybe not, but if we start looking at it, we don't want something like that down there. That would just, you end up getting the court.
Right. But given it's a state road, it sounds like we can't
Yeah.
do anything without a lot of hassle.
When one something like that, or like up at Friendship Church,
Right, that's what.
that it's there and it's marked, but it doesn't like sound like you're breaking the car in half anymore. Something that, oh, geez.
The other thing would be the fire department.
Right. But I mean, they go through overspeed humps all the time. Different.
I haven't heard any feedback from them that when we put in San Francisco, they're up there every day. Well, yeah.
I just think that is just another sign. We have a million signs around here. They don't even stop at stop sign. I just don't see. I mean, $5,000 try.
No, Mark's saying, what
Oh,
about?
no,
the
I know,
actual
but I mean,
stop
over
sign?
that, I would take a stop sign over that.
I mean, we could try it first, so that's an easy thing. I think it would help a little bit. For the stop sign?
For any traffic control device on state.
Oh, even that, then,
Anything.
but we need one for that one.
It should be a study, before you put a stop sign in, we do a study. and
Yeah,
everything.
to rate, if you were warrant.
I think we've had a study done a number of years ago for stop sign down here back.
Well, is this considered a traffic, this is just telling people how fast they're going, does that fall into the category of needing permission?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's not directing you to do
It's
anything.
just telling you what you're doing.
The issue with that would be physically putting a thing in the state highway right of way, for which you need probably a different kind of permission. You don't take it away, because it's,
Well, who, is it an easy add?
This goes on Junior's lot.
Quick, that's kind of, right, the state kind of works with us on that, even as a state road, but we don't want to say too much because they help South Island Snow. So that's a main plus for that, so we don't want to kind of upset them.
Would speed
Let 'em
bumps
keep doing
impact that?
But I'll say, I think you put a sign up, they're not like worried about the right of way as much until you get to, north of Dr. Kelly's house or right in that area. Like we want to put a sign on Judy's lot, they would, you know, that's town right away, for the sides, even though the state highway going to do that.
but if you're paying on
Because we did have a-
that's different.
Yeah, we did have a signed agreement with
Well, and
them,
there's
the
some
town
town,
took
the
it
town
over.
owns the corner, right? I mean, we own a little bit of Junior's lot.
Well,
What
the
you're
town
saying,
took
right?
that road over until you get to that point, you know, we have a signed agreement, that we took it over until you get to like Ninth Street. But then we talked to the state, District 5 engineer, and we got him to plow it and salt it all the way through, so he kind of did a favor for us there, so. Kind of like keeping close, but then when we do something, but not upset that part of it.
Yeah,
Because
plus,
they're
it's-
willing to work with us, that's a big plus for us there.
plus there's a speed problem there, but more of the speed problem is going past the marsh.
Right, I almost feel like if
That's
this was on
scary.
Junior's lot, it's almost like if they forget about it by the
Yeah,
time they
yeah,
got
I
to
mean, you
that
stop there, I
place.
mean, you know, okay, we just stopped by Junior's where Junior's house was. And we, okay, now we're gonna go past Chay's house, let's punch it.
Harrington Harbor South had one, it's they had it where you come down a hill as you're turning in their entrance, and so you
The
tend to
county
get,
put that there.
go to county, yeah, because you tend to get up speed, and then you slow down, but it's a perfect spot.
But they put that there, and then a week after they took it away, they had cops there on a regular scheduled basis. Probably from the data they received from the reader.
They had a reader there.
Yeah, they have the mobile units that the police departments have, and they put it down there, ready to come down the hill. And then, once that got pulled away, the cops were sitting there on a pretty scheduled basis. So based on
How
how
do we get a reader?
Well, wait, don't,
that was the cops, so we could probably talk to Calvert and see if they have one, because they put it on, they have.
we did do that, we did do that.
And
And they,
Yeah, like, they have like the radar trailer, and I'm just a reader, they Calvert has one, and I never had it on right in front of Southwinds before Southwinds was built, because I would race it with my bike. I could get 27.
They had one that you couldn't see down there. Oh, wait, two quick questions, Donnie. So the speed humps, do they impact the plowing?
They're not as bad as a speed bump.
So, I mean, how much, have we actually tried to make the call, if we think speed humps would be the best thing there, I mean, how do we actually see if it's possible to get those?
I would bring up the state highway to the design, because they're coming all the way back to 8th Street with that road, and they lift it up. So,
You're saying for the future?
Yeah.
But what if we wanted to do something now?
we won't have any traffic for 2 years when they start working on the road.
That's true.
We shut down. No. But, for now, like I said, they go to the council, it's, if you put a speed bump, cars are gonna jump over, and then they're gonna floor it, and then use that as a start point for a race. Because I see more of the problem from a pump station across the marsh.
I was gonna say, I see the problem going out of town.
Yeah.
And it goes, like you say, from about the pump station, that's a straight shot. So the stop sign.
Eighth or Ninth Street, they start ramping up, and then by the time they go across the
I
marsh.
wonder what maybe.
Yeah, stop
I'd love to
sign
know
Junior
what
would
the
be another starting
officers-
point.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what our officers think of that, like if that was at Juniors. I mean, they know how these things
That's the
work.
thing to do is
We
go out
ask
there
them
and
next
shoot some
week,
radar.
when he's here, just sort of ask them, where do you most effectively put these, to impact? Just, so, I saw it on the, here. We could get their input, that would even
Yeah,
be
four,
helpful to have it on shoulders.
Yeah, they have 2 or 3, but they move them around the county. Because we had one, actually, we had one inside Burke Oaks, because they kept complaining that people were speeding out through there, and it turned out that most of the time, now they weren't.
Right,
People speed everywhere.
right.
Well, the reason that there's nothing there is because we never come to a decision about what we want to do.
Right.
Because there is no real solution other than having a deputy sit there, you know.
That's right, that's the thing.
So for the future, that's a great.
But for the future, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd love just to ask the officers next week, like strategically, where do you do something like that?
Okay. Well, we're going to go into closed session. We'll give opportunity for public comment before we adjourn and go into closed session. If not, do I have a motion to adjourn the work session? And to go into closed session to consider the acquisition of real property for a public purpose and matter directly relating thereto as authorized by the general provisions articles of the annotated code of the public general law of Maryland, section 3-305 D3.
I'll move that.
I'll second that.
Do I have to say that whole thing?
Okay. Motion is made. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is, work session is adjourned. Thank you all.